everyone, and welcome back to our podcast. I'm Chris, joined by my brother, Adam.
Hello.
And we are also joined today by Mr. Michael Howlin of the metal band 12 Gauge Outrage, of the YouTube channel Bullet Sponge, and he's also sponsored by Game Pass. Are we allowed to say
Easter
that?
Xbox.
Howlin is coming on today with us to celebrate 20 years of Xbox and, of course, Halo. I don't think we can have the conversation about Xbox being around for the last 20 years without also mentioning Halo, which I think was like the franchise that sold the Xbox at the time of initial release, for sure. And actually, we will link it at the end if you're watching this on YouTube, but also we'll put a link on for the audio platforms. Howlin did an awesome video on like the origins of Halo on his Bullet Sponge channel, and I'd love to link that for people to check that out. It's a great watch, so really do check that out.
Thank you very much.
No problem. You'll probably notice Eric is not here today, and that's only because Eric is off
a loser.
He's a fucking PlayStation stand. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's protesting right now. He's like refusing to come on. Well, the funny thing is, of like the three of us,
he
right,
played it
and,
the most.
To be fair, yeah, he actually probably did.
Yeah, he did.
He's an actor, darling. He's an actor.
He's an actor, darling. Exactly. So he's off rehearsing, but we're going to celebrate 20 years of Xbox and Halo nonetheless. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you enjoy it at any point, please do give this a thumbs up, hit subscribe, click the notification bell for future content. We'd also love you guys, more importantly, to jump into the comments to share your own thoughts and your own memories of Xbox, Halo, and also your aspirations for the Xbox going forward. If you're listening to the audio platforms, you can also touch base us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take. And we'll also be linking in Howlin's channel so you can follow that too. And go listen to 12 Gauge Outrage. They're fucking awesome. But without further ado, let's talk Xbox. I suppose to start the conversation, what I really want to do is reminisce in the beginning and kind of kick us off that way in terms of talking about what is your earliest memory of playing an Xbox at all? Where were you when you first experienced playing an Xbox? What were you playing? You know, what happened at that point? And I'd love to come to you first, Howlin, only because you're the guy that sold the Xbox to me. So
Did you actually buy one?
There's one coming this Christmas, and
wow.
I can't wait.
Awesome. The first thing I remember about Xbox was I got a PS2 one year for Christmas. I must have been, I don't know, 12 or something. But I got the PS2, and alongside that, my parents, some reason, got me Max Payne. Some things from that still live in my mind. I shouldn't have been playing that as a 12-year-old. Totally messed up. But I remember hearing that it looked better on the Xbox. I just couldn't comprehend such a thing at the time. Like, why? How could it look better? It's a console, all the same. And then I actually went and played it at a friend's house. I played Max Payne. I was like, oh, that blood isn't there on the PlayStation. That smoke, no. Like, it was just a more powerful console than the PlayStation, and it showed when I first saw it. And the controller was so different. It was so huge, and it felt like this weapon in your hands. There was that, and then I went on to play Crimson Skies after that, which is an old airplane fighting game. Brilliant game. And then there was the first time I played Halo.
We'll have to come back to that, won't we?
First time you play that game, my God.
That's like, it's playing a legacy, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come to Halo 2, because like I said, these it's like a symbiotic relationship in terms of the celebration of this particular kind of anniversary. But Adam, what was your first memory of Xbox? Because I know we didn't have the
memory of
Xbox.
Xbox or first time playing one.
Yeah, your first time playing one, but like it definitely wasn't in our house, so I don't know when this was.
No,
So,
like my
I
first
wasn't
time
there.
playing, well, it would have been the 360 set up.
That was your first time playing an Xbox.
It was, yeah, in GameStop.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
actually,
shit.
it would have
Okay.
been. No, maybe not actually, because I think one of my mates had an OG Xbox, and we rented Tony Hawk's Underground.
Yeah, it was always the rich chaps that had the
And
Xbox.
we played it,
yeah. Yeah, everyone else had a PS2, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you
it was
pretty
always
much
like
you
that
had
one
a
or two
choice. It's
people.
like begging your parents to get yourself. Like I remember having like the Argos catalog or Smith's Toys catalog,
Oh,
right?
man.
And every like coming up to Christmas, and you're just like, you know,
The game section.
weeping over it, hoping your parents will see and go, look, will we just get him one? Sure,
Circling
Right, yeah,
stuff
yeah.
in a pen.
absolutely.
It's like when
didn't
you
happen.
write on your Santa list, like, here's what I want and a surprise. You're
Yeah,
hoping
yeah.
that the surprise
Yeah.
will be like.
So I always like I remember looking at the Xbox and like circling like Halo, circling I think it would have been definitely Fable, and I can't remember what the other game was. Perfect Dark wasn't on that one, was it? That was on 360.
360.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was probably actually Oddworld, but I just remember circling these games. I was just like, this is my wish list essentially. Whenever I get one, which never happened, but
But it had it was such a different look than the PlayStation as well. Like this big green Xbox, like this literally had an X on top of it and this green circle in the middle, and it looked so futuristic at the time, especially compared to the PlayStation, which was just this black box at the time. The PS2, like, it was just this little black box, and this yoke it looked like something out of a movie kind of thing. Like, it was crazy.
But I think here where we were as well, it was kind of, and it very much was the kind of underdog in a way.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
everyone
yeah,
had a PS2, so the odd time you saw someone with an Xbox, you were like,
Mm.
I don't even know where you got that. Yeah, like, I don't even know where you picked those up. But I certainly wasn't aware of it. Like, so my first time playing an Xbox, and sometimes like I wish I could say it was like, oh, it was Halo, or oh, it was like one of the Hitman games on the Xbox at the time, you know, or whatever. But I was at my friend's house, and he was the only one out of us that had an Xbox. Everyone else had the PS2.
Bit of money in that family, like.
A little bit, yeah. He was like, "Oh, do you want to play the Xbox?" And I was like, "I've never played the Xbox." And even like, I like with the age I was as well, I even like was confused about it. I was like, "But I don't know how to play an Xbox." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, it'll tell you how to play it." I was like, "But it's so different to a PlayStation." Like, I thought they'd be like so different, you know, as opposed to like, you know, they're relatively similar in terms of controller layout and stuff. But and the first game I ever played on the Xbox was Batman Vengeance. I don't know
What?
if anyone remembers that game, right? And
I've never even heard it. Of course, it's the
Is
fucking
that a-
Batman
Oh, man.
game.
side scroller, is it?
No. It was like a action adventure Batman game. It used the animation style of the new Batman animated adventures, and Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill did the voice acting in it.
Wow. Why have I
So-
never heard of this ever?
Oh, give it a quick Google there. Like, it is,
Yeah.
like, I'm not making this shit up. But and I remember like he had a list of other Xbox games, and I look at my memory serves me right. He did have Halo,
Yeah.
right? But at that age, those games they didn't yet mean anything to me.
Mm.
But I saw Batman, and I was like, oh, Batman, yeah, put on Batman.
Yeah, it wouldn't be like it.
And yeah, right, and that obviously, you know, did not become as famous as the other games that I could have played because you haven't heard of it.
Yeah.
I have a faint memory of a girl falling off a bridge, and you had to do like a quick time event to like save her. It turns out she's actually Harley Quinn in disguise, and it was a trap set by the Joker.
Classic Batman. Classic Batman.
Classic. It was classic.
But
But
quick time event ahead of its time.
it was ahead of its time. You know what? Batman Vengeance, lads. Go check it out. But yeah, that was the first time I played an Xbox. And actually, he's my only friend that he had like
You
every
should stop
generation
there.
of the Xbox.
I was gonna do it, goddammit.
He's my only friend. I let the record show. Yeah, no, but he had every generation of the Xbox, because I remember, like, as we went along, like the first time I played Xbox One was in his house as well,
Yeah.
and that was Rise.
Unfortunate.
Was it Rise, Son of Rome?
Oh,
Probably
Lord.
that was a
What's
launch
called?
game.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
that was the game that I played at the time, and I was like, wow, these actually myself and another friend of mine who were there, we were sleeping over, and we cleared that game that night. We like we were like, we have a go at this game. He went, yeah, go ahead. Like he'd only just gotten it, and we like
Game.
He woke up a few hours. Yeah, right. He woke up a few hours later. We were like, yeah, we cleared that, man. It's pretty good.
That's similar to like when the story I was going to tell, which the 360 was playing in GameStop, was set up, and they had King Kong on it.
Oh yeah.
And that just blew me away. I was like watching, like I spent ages just looking down and just walking around, and it's like the rain on the cobbles. It was like the first time like water and shiny surfaces was the first time I ever saw it in a game.
I fucking remember when that was in GameStop
Yeah.
on the Xbox.
Yeah, with the really
so good.
with the really shitty little kind of 720p TV.
I remember playing it there. Yeah.
And so I was like impressed with that game. That I was staying at my mate's, and he ended up renting it then for the PS2, and we stayed up at his. I just took over it basically. I was like, I'll start, right, and I ended up clearing the whole thing on him, and he's like, I never even got a fucking go in the game, just in the one night. That was a cool game though.
That was a fucking great game. I love that
really
game.
was him.
I
think
have
that
it,
was
but I can't play it because
Why?
it's not in the backwards compatibility catalog.
Somebody
unfortunately.
fix
But
it.
I do have it on disc.
I wonder is
That's,
Batman Vengeance in the backwards?
Yeah, we should have a look.
It could well be. That was like the Jack Black King Kong, right?
That's it. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I remember going to see that in the movie with some friends, and as King Kong was falling off the building at the end, my phone from back in the day rang, and it was a Mexican hat dance. Just across the whole cinema.
Just did it ruin the moment for everyone? Did it?
Oh, 100%. Well,
although I feel like if you go into King Kong and you don't know the ending, you've missed out on like just pop culture in general, haven't you? Like the most famous thing of King Kong is him on the building and then getting shot down, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert if you if you don't know that. Okay, so those are our earliest memories of Xbox, and I'd like later on we'll also throw out our fondest memories of playing the Xbox, which might for some people might be the same thing, or maybe not. Maybe there'll be some other instance in which you're like, oh no, like my favorite memory from playing Xbox or from getting an Xbox or whatever it will be, whatever. But before we get into any of that, I want to also honor the fact that this is also Halo's 20th anniversary. And I know this series means an awful lot to you, Howlin, in particular.
Yeah. This Halo is like just crazy good. Like I remember playing the first one, and like I'm pretty sure we played through it. Me and my mate played through it in like a day, just nonstop, just staying up all night, just played through it. And then the second one came out, we got it day one and cleared it in the first 24 hours as well. Like
Jesus.
Wow.
They were so good for when they came out. They were absolutely unbelievable. Like just there was nothing else out there like it. Like Killzone was trying to be the same, and it just wasn't as good, as fun. Like it was just so, for when they were out, were amazing. And yeah, good game.
They still are though. Like this, like they hold up. Like because I was at Adam's house at one point when like the lockdown started to lift and everyone was vaccinated or whatever, and he had the Series X, and I was like, look, I'm wanting to get one of these, but I might as well, like Adam had it now, so I was like, I might as well try it out.
Yeah.
And we threw on the like Master Chief Collection, and we threw on Halo 1. I was playing it for a bit.
So like that Master Chief Collection is just crazy good as well. Like it's just
fucking amazing. Amazing. And I love that feature that they have where you can revert back to seamlessly. You can revert like from like the OG graphics to like kind of like upscaled graphics. Amazing. Such a cool feature.
Like it's funny, like looking back and you think like they looked so fucking good back then. So good. Like I remember seeing the faces in Halo of the people in Halo 2 for the first time and going, that's real. That's a movie now.
It'll never get better than this.
Like, never get better. And you look back at it and it's just so bad now.
But we say that every generation, don't we?
Yeah.
Every you get to the point. I remember when I suppose of that time period, seeing Metal Gear Solid 2 for the first time, for example, and thinking,
Yeah.
oh, well, this is the pinnacle. This is the pinnacle there. Like, they'll never. And then, sure, look where we are now. Like, fucking hell. Adam, what was your earliest memory of Halo?
Well, I didn't get to play Halo till the third one, and again, it was at a friend's house, and we were just pretty much he used, isn't it Forge, and that was called?
Yeah.
And he modified the Valhalla map, which I think that's the map you play, right? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's still good.
Yeah, it's like one of the best ones on it. So he just put a few like vehicles, some guns in some places or whatever, and then it's just the four of us split screen Halo 3 Valhalla. So I never really got to play the campaign then. That was the point when I was like, okay, I have to get one of these. So managed to get a 360 second hand. And yeah, that's the game I got. It was that and I think Gears. I picked those two up. And that would have been the first time we played campaign, but I think I might have played with Eric the whole thing. And I think that's the great thing about Halo, is the whole campaign can be played 2-player.
And that's the best way for it to be played as well.
I think so too, because obviously it's got a really good story, but it's not like a moment to moment, like, they don't throw in cutscenes every now and then and keep you hooked. It's the buddy kind of banter. It's the kicking the shit out of grunts. It's like that's what makes it great. I think it nearly has to be played that way, whether you're doing it locally or online. Definitely play it with someone.
100%.
Yeah, my earliest memory of Xbox or Halo, is the music. Actually, I know I heard that music before I played any of the games, and I was just aware that was the Halo theme, but I don't know where I heard it. But I was aware of the Halo theme of music, and I knew who Master Chief was because he had just become this video game icon. I felt like anyone who was into the gaming world at all knew Master Chief, even if they didn't know what franchise Master Chief was from. It just became that thing of like, it's like everyone recognized Link, everyone recognized Mario, everyone recognized Snake, and everyone recognized Master Chief. He had an iconic design to him.
Where the fuck was Sonic on that list?
Or Lara.
Well, I could keep going. Yeah, I could keep going. Okay. I wanted to stop the list somewhere, guys.
Keep going.
Yes, and Sonic and Spyro and Crash and Pikachu and okay. Everyone knew Nemesis. Everyone knew Duke Nukem. Everyone.
And of course, the most important, the guy from Prototype.
Yeah, of course. The guy from Prototype.
Yeah.
Did they make a second one of those?
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Was it called Type 2? Was that what it's called? Prototype?
Yeah, Prototype 2, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I would never have guessed.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Halo. The theme was what I had heard first. And I know as well, didn't Breaking Benjamin do a song with the Halo theme? Was that for Halo 2?
Not with the Halo theme, but it is they did do a song for 2.
If I remember right, it was like in the credits or something, like on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
It like Halo 2 is like they went kind of an edgy direction with it kind of job, like, and like there's lots of guitar riffs in that one and stuff that fill into the music. Like
is that where the Mjolnir mix came from?
Yeah, I don't know. I assume so. I don't know what that is, but yeah, they got like Steve Vai in.
Yeah, he's on. He did the Mjolnir mix.
That sounds about right. Like I'm listening. I hear the intro in my head now, and I'm like, yeah, that's Steve Vai right there.
Yeah.
I know that. But I suppose the first one I played was Halo 3. That's the first one I actually played because that was the one that was in our house.
I think you could say that for 75% of people. Like I think Halo
Really?
3. Yeah, I would think so. Yeah, the 360 broke through like nothing else. And if you had a 360, you had to have Halo at some point on it. So I'd say 75% of people first played Halo 3, and then went, oh, well, this is good. What are the other two?
Right, and then went back. Yeah. I always in my head for some strange reason, and I know it's not the case now because I am aware that Halo 3 is probably the most popular of the series so far, right? But
hard to say because Reach.
Reach is well liked.
Yeah.
It's very well liked.
Yeah.
But 3 was crazy at the time.
For sure.
mental at the time.
Yeah. But for some reason, when I was growing up, I always thought it was Halo 2. And I don't know why.
Halo 2 was quite popular. Not here. It wasn't really popular here, but
Right.
stateside and stuff, it was quite popular.
I mean, I suppose they were all fucking popular, weren't they? I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of the most beloved series, like.
Yeah. But over here, I think less so until the 360 era. The PlayStation owned over here before the 360 came along, and it kind of, shifted a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite Halo game in the series?
It's 3.
3?
Yeah, like
to this day.
Yeah, 3 ruined my leaving cert. Like,
that's what we want to hear.
I spent too fucking long on that game in my childhood. Like, that game. I remember, I got the Xbox 360 for Christmas one year. Again, Christmas, great time for consoles.
It is.
Yeah. Well, I remember playing Halo for the first time on my CRT down in my bedroom, like, and at some point I like threw a grenade and it like went under a truck, and the truck just did this little hop, like the trailer of the truck, but the truck stayed still and the truck trailer just went a little hop, and I went, oh my god, oh, that's real. Yeah, and it just blew me away, those little things in it. And
that's the name of the song.
I was just about to say that. That is the name of the Breaking Benjamin song. Blow me away.
And then just like I got hooked on the multiplayer as well. Yeah, and like, to be honest, like Halo 3 is a weird one for me. Like, I met my guitarist in my band Reggie through Halo. Like, I didn't meet him, but I got to know him through playing Halo with him. And now I've been in the band with him since I was 16. So like, it's kind of been I suppose you could say, life-changing game for me, really.
Yeah, Amanda, I always I suppose the 360 was the Xbox that I would have had the most experience with in terms of, because it was in our house. Like, I wasn't just waiting to go to someone else's house to play it. But there was something about it, was like a real co-op machine, nearly, wasn't it? Like, because I even think of like some of the other games that I really enjoyed, like Gears of War, for example. Like, again, you can play it on your own, but man, the best way to play it is co-op. Like.
Yeah, they really liked that back then. I think couch co-op was more popular back then anyway, but I think Xbox pushed it a little bit more than PlayStation did. As is still to this day. But I think that was where it started really to diverge in that sense.
Man, I like couch co-op.
Who doesn't? It's great.
I don't know. So like, when some games nowadays, they don't even have it as an option. It's like you can only do online multiplayer. I'm like, I mean, that's cool as well. Don't get me wrong, because it connects people who are, in totally different houses or even parts of the world. Like, that's cool. But man, there's something to be said for couch co-op. Like actually sitting in a room together and going, we'll be throwing a game and play it through the whole fucking thing.
Yep.
And like spending all night finishing it. Like,
100%.
I love that shit, man.
And that was like a massive, like, I must have played through the Halo 3 campaign countless times just when my mates sat beside me and we're just going for hours. Like, I've so many memories of sitting in all sorts of bedrooms, just sitting playing through that Halo campaign again and again and again and again. That Halo 3 campaign, just crazy good.
That the one where they introduced a new enemy type, didn't they? Aside from
that's 4.
Yeah, 4 brought in like the Forerunner guys. But 3 just had like, oh man, it just had everything. Like, it just
was there not this like, there was like this parasitic life form or something like that.
No, that's the Flood. Yeah, the Flood.
The Flood. That's what I'm thinking of, because I know Eric was. He's not here now, the fucker. Eric was obsessed with the Flood. Like, he loved like, Eric played way more Halo games than me or Adam, to tell the truth. Like,
he did.
He got really into the fucking series, like really into it, to the point where like it's like, what do you want for your birthday? The next Halo game, like that's what he was wanting. Because I know he definitely played like Halo Reach. He even got into Halo Wars. Those tactical games as well. Like, he was so fucking into it.
Yeah, the Flood was in it from the first one, but yeah, they were good. They were really good in 3. They were more of a pain in the first 2.
Oh, really?
First one is like the library.
Legendary.
Oh
the library.
God. Legendary. That took me so long to get through. Fucking hell.
It's absolutely legendary. Yeah, it was like, there's just constant Flood coming at you, and everything looked the same, and all that kind of stuff.
right?
And you're just like running around trying to find ammo.
Yeah. Shotgun ammo.
Shotgun
Always
ammo.
the shotgun.
Yeah.
I never got to play that much of the earlier ones. Well, I've never played the second one at all. To tell the truth.
Oh
I've only
man,
played
get
like
on that.
a little bit of first. Well, that's the thing. I will be. I'm looking like I'm psyched. Like I'm looking forward. And you've actually had. I know, Adam, you've had the Xbox Series X for a while now, but now, Howlin, you've had it for
Since day one.
a year now, right?
Since day one, yeah.
It's over a year old now.
Hell of a machine.
Yeah, how has your experience been with it 1 year later? The newest version of this 20-year-old brand.
It's great. I go back and play games on it all the time, like older games and stuff on it all the time, and yeah, it's brilliant. Like I know, like it's a joke with me, but like Game Pass is just so powerful. It's
he has
like,
to say it. He's actually been no,
but I might as well be like, it's like even Forza Horizon 5 came out this week.
Mm-hmm.
I know I've already put in loads of hours into that, and I haven't paid a penny for it. I just use my Xbox Game Pass subscription to play it. Like, you know, it's crazy, like crazy, and it's just such a solid machine for that kind of stuff. It's so good, so good. It's great machine. The two of them together, I think, are really good this time around. Really work well together. The PS5 and the Xbox.
Yeah, and I think that I suppose they've both catered to different things now.
Yeah, it's actually worth having both.
There's a justification for both, which I personally felt wasn't there the last time around. Last time it was a personal preference, you know, on the last generation of consoles, totally. Whereas this time around, there is a totally different direction for both.
For all three,
or for all three, even. Yeah, if you want to throw Nintendo into the mix as well, yeah.
Yeah, forget about that one. Yeah,
you do sometimes.
Poor Nintendo. Although they're grand, they're sitting there, they're fine.
They're
like
doing okay.
They're not worried at all, you know.
Yeah. they don't care.
Not at all. They're like, yeah, Chris Pratt play Mario. Who cares?
Yeah,
they don't care. I was actually going to ask you, how is Forza? Because I was never into racing games, but I remember saying it to the guys like in the summer. As soon as I saw the footage from Forza Horizon 5, I was like, man, that looks amazing.
Yeah, if you're not into racing games, Forza Horizon 5 is the racing game for you. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, it's crazy. Like, their accessibility options make it like as easy or as difficult as you want it to be. Like, if you put them down low enough, the car will literally drive itself if you just press the trigger. Like, it will do all the braking and turning for you. Or you can turn it up where the tires are degrading as you race through and everything like that. So, like, it's
fucking hell.
Full on spectrum, like, you know. So it's so nice to just like, I like sim racing, but I use Forza Horizon as like my arcade racer. I sit down and chill out, and I don't worry about any tire degradation or anything like that. I just play it for fun, and it's just so good for that. It's so good for just chilling out, and it looks amazing. It looks so good.
Incredible.
And it runs so well. Like, it's an absolute masterpiece of a game, to be honest.
I have a feeling it's.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Adam, how have you found the Series X in the time that you've had it? Which is
I fucking love it, man. I haven't got a chance to play it that much, but when I do play it, like my experience with it has just been really good. There's a few games that have been a bit like kind of hit and miss, but it doesn't matter like which console you were on. It's going to be a bit hit and miss anyway. But they've been patched now, and I just really it is just the whole Game Pass experience about being able to. It feels like Netflix, It just feels like you can just go on and go like, what will I try? And you don't feel like you have to like. I know that's kind of bad because there's so much hours gone into it, but you don't feel like you have to clear the thing. You can just jump in and enjoy it, and like if you're feeling that you might stick with it, and if not, then what harm? You don't feel like you've been burned. Like if, because I tried, was it Quantum Break? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I gave that a go
control,
just
right?
to see what that was like, and I was like, no, I'm not feeling this. But if I had paid for that, I would have been fucking bummed.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, and like people say that it's gonna that's gonna hurt game development, stuff like that. But like Steam has had a refund policy where if you're under like a certain amount of hours, you can just refund the game. Like, with Game Pass, like you go in, you play it, and if you like it, for example, my example for this is always Slay the Spire. Like, it's a card game. I never would have bought it ever. I never would have bought that game by itself, and I played it on Game Pass. And now I've bought it on PC, I've bought it on PlayStation, I've bought it on Switch. I'm pretty sure I have it on an iPad.
Wow.
I have hundreds of hours in it in a game that I never would have touched if I had to buy it. Do you know, that's if it can do that, then what else can it do? Do you know?
It's like PS Plus on steroids.
It really is, but there is a downside to it. Like you mentioned PS Plus there. PS Plus is great. The games you get every month are brilliant. The Xbox One games of gold used to be really good. Yeah, but it's gotten really, really bad in the past 2 years.
I have
because
noticed
they're pushing people to Game Pass.
Yeah, I have noticed that. Yeah.
But I suppose I've heard like pros and cons both ways. You know, like people would say things like, "Oh, this future of like streaming games, is it going to affect the quality of games?" Blah blah blah. But I do think like the comparison to the Netflix model is a good comparison in that there's always going to be those big heavy hitters there, right? But it ends up like there's so many like little kind of indie projects on Netflix, for example, that I probably would have never watched or given the time to if I didn't have Netflix anyway, where you're like, oh, sure, fuck it, I throw it on. I have Netflix anyway. So I do think that's a good like comparison where it's like there's smaller games that you might have never even heard of or looked at, only that it comes up and you go, what's that?
Yeah, exactly. Those smaller games are key to it. Like if I hear talk going around on podcasts or websites or whatever about a smaller game, the first thing I do is check if it's on Game Pass. It's the very first thing absolutely. I do. Like it's, and if it is, I'm on it. Do you know? And if it isn't, I'll play it at some point. Yeah. Do you know?
Right,
like it's
I think it actually has the potential to fix a huge problem that has been in a while, which is the whole the additional things that you have to buy to complete a game. You know, like with any EA title, for example, it fixes that because generally it's all included.
Yep. Like if it's a Microsoft game, it will be.
Yeah. Like
there might be a delay on it, but you'll get it.
Yeah, like I remember with the PS4 era is like I played a lot of Destiny 2, and
sorry to hear that.
With something with with the Series X, like it's there, it's available. You don't have to keep buying it every now and then. It's just Now if I could only get my clan to move over, that would be very beneficial for me.
It's really like you mentioned Destiny 1, Destiny 2 there. Like that's like massive first-person shooter game, and look where that came from. That has its blood in Halo.
Oh yeah.
Like the thing about that game is how good it feels, and it feels that good because those guys made 3 Halo games, and it shows.
5, didn't they?
Did they make 5? Was that not the team? Did they not pay it out after 3?
No,
I could be wrong.
After Reach, I think they were in contract to keep making it, so it's after.
Yes,
Reach.
The 2 side ones. Yes.
Yeah.
What's the other side one then? Because I know Halo 1 to 3, and I know Halo Reach.
ODST.
What's the other one? What's it called? OST?
ODST.
ODST.
Yeah. It's like Halo Jazz.
Yeah. It's like a noir almost investigator style set.
No, it's not.
During Halo 3.
It's Halo drinking whiskey.
Shut the front door, really?
Yeah, it's real like different. It's like mad different. You die really easily. You're meant to be more stealthy and stuff. It's crazy different.
Man, that's wow. Okay, I've never seen that one.
ODST and Reach was like trying to like at least not change the formula, but let's try something else within that universe. You know, so it's not like the same thing over and over and over again, which was a good idea considering the way 4 and 5 went. You know.
Yeah, and they probably like ODST and Reach probably made them figure out what they were doing with Destiny.
I think there's a hint of Destiny in ODST as well.
Yeah, it's like you can see that bloodline is there.
Yeah.
Is that like you could see where they were heading almost?
No, there's like actually a poster or something like that.
An actual Easter egg. Oh, sorry, I thought you were just like
has the
that
traveler.
Is correct.
It has the traveler on it, and then it says something. I can't remember what it says, but yeah, it's like
right. Yeah. I totally forgot that.
Right.
I think it's gone now if you get it for the Master Chief Collection, because I don't know if that's included. I can't remember if that's included or if you have to buy that extra.
They added in Reach for sure, but I'm not sure about ODST.
Yeah.
But I know they added in Reach.
what about Halo Infinite then? Looking forward now, which is obviously the newest game coming. And it looks, to me anyway, like the opposite of Halo ODST, and it's a real callback to like classic Halo. Maybe that Halo 3 kind of feeling. But how are you feeling about that?
I think they're trying to find the middle ground between like a Halo and a more fast-paced shooter like Call of Duty or something. From what I've played of it, anyway.
Oh, have you played it?
Yeah, the beta. Yeah, the beta.
Oh, how's it play then?
Great. It's really, really, really fun. Yeah, really fun. Feels fantastic. It feels like a faster-paced Halo 3 to me, which is going to be good. Like, and multiplayer is going to be free on it as well. Like, which is, like I'm excited for it.
That's the bit I'm most excited about.
Yeah.
I've heard rumors that there's talks that they might drop that early.
I don't know about that. Could do.
Not sure.
I mean,
maybe
there's a rumor mill anyway going around that they might actually drop the multiplayer early. As like
it was solid in the beta. Like it really was. So I could see why they could do it. But yeah, like it was good fun from the few matches that I played.
Yeah, and I've heard people say the grapple hook is like a really good addition.
It's fun. Yeah.
In terms of both traversal and combat.
Well, I also can't wait to see what happens with the campaign in it. Like it looks like it's just going to be like that. Was it Gears? God, I don't know which one it was. The last Gears, I think it was, that came out where it was like
was 5, was it?
5. Where it was open world, but really it was just like a bunch of places that had things Far Cry style. It looks like it's going to be Halo cross with Far Cry kind of job. Like, but I'm up for that. I'm up for that.
Yeah, I mean the first Halo had that. It only started to get a little bit. Not linear, because 3 was a bit open in areas too, but the arenas in 1 were massive. So it really is that kind of callback to, because Halo 1 originally I think was designed to be an RTS, so that the maps were huge. Yeah. It's only when they shifted that perspective view, it's like now you're like looking at it from the eyes of a little soldier on a massive battlefield, and it really changed the game.
Someone watched my video. That's fucking awkward, isn't it? Fuck.
It is. I actually haven't.
Sorry. You're totally right. You're totally right. Yeah, I agree. Like it's gonna have. It needs to have that DNA in it as well from the first 3, and it needs to succeed. If this doesn't succeed, Halo's dead. It just is.
Whoa! Whoa!
It is.
Whoa! That's a fucking. Do you think so? Is Halo like? Do you think Halo as a series is on thin ice, or do you think that? Because I always kind of thought, I was like, even if they make a bad Halo is a series that could always come back just because of like. I suppose like people always kind of compared at the time back in the day. It was like the PlayStation had Metal Gear Solid and Xbox had Halo, right? And Metal Gear Solid went down a weird fucking road and made some weird fucking games. But my God, if they announce a Metal Gear Solid tomorrow, anyone who's into Metal Gear Solid will still lose their fucking minds, even if they've been left with a bad taste. So I kind of feel that way about Halo too.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's just the last 2 weren't great.
Right. So it's like if it's 3 in a row, then it's like, oy.
Yeah, and the Master Chief Collection when it came out wasn't great. Like it's fantastic now, but it wasn't great when it came out. So yeah, I think they need to nail this. Or I don't think we'll see a Halo game for at least another 10 years for when they want to reboot or something like. But
right.
I think the plan might be to keep this for 10 years anyway, but we'll see how that goes. They said that with Destiny 2 as well, didn't they?
For the first one, yeah, man, Jesus was I salty when they announced the second one. I was just like, I'm back on your word.
Oh, really? What was the idea? That they would just keep like adding updates and stuff to it, or
expansion passes and stuff like that, like new missions and things like that. But with 2,
it was literally a 10-year plan, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And then halfway through it, they decided to scrap all that and start again. So even your character like loses everything, and you have to start again.
Oh, that's a bit annoying.
Yeah, it was annoying. It's annoying as hell.
Money, isn't it?
And then they took out so much stuff in the game too, and they had to. It took about a year or 2 for it to get back to the standard of the first one.
Yeah, I'm not sure Halo can do that. Because it's going to need to drop hot. It really needs to drop out, especially with the delays. Like this is like we're a year out from the release of the Series X, and it was
Yeah.
meant to come out with the Series X. So
Yeah.
it's gotta drop hot. It really does.
I think you're right there, because I do think that delay in particular left quite a sour taste in a lot of people's mouths, to be honest, because like, you know, for a more casual gamer who's not really looking into the specs of a console and even the prospects of what a console can do, I do think they sometimes look at these things and go, I'm getting that to play that, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, so like when it came to launch lineup, it was like, oh, I have to get the new Xbox to play the new Halo, like, you know, and that's as far as it goes. So when that Halo doesn't come and you're waiting kind of a year for it, you know, you're kind of like, the anticipation can only build more and more over that year. So I think
they kind of got lucky a bit though with the unfortunate world event of the pandemic.
Is that lucky
Right.
though, or if they had a dropped what they're going to drop now? If they had a drop that at the start of COVID, could it have been bigger? Could it have been bigger than Warzone?
Probably, but I think they would have run into that restraints issue that Sony's currently experiencing just due to popularity. And like, you look at the way, like on all the PlayStation social networks, the comment section is just like, they are being annihilated, because it's like, why haven't you gotten me a console yet, Sony?
right.
Like, people are just really demanding, and it's fallen out of favor because they're not being transparent about the situation, right? But if you look at Xbox's social networks, it's very, very positive, right? The whole thing is really positive, and people are more willing to go buy one now, and they're more available.
It's that, and people saying that PlayStation is better. That's on the Xbox comments.
Oh, I like.
Is
Yeah,
it?
you're always gonna get that bit.
You're already
That bit of.
you're always gonna get those
yeah.
fucks.
Yeah. Strangely, you don't get much Xbox is better on the PlayStation ones. You just get people are just, you just get the PlayStation fans are mad on both.
Yeah,
angry
it seems to
people.
be the case.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's just only so much that comes between them and FIFA.
Yeah. But to tell the truth, there's like, for all the excitement that there was to get an Xbox last year, I think there's even more now with the addition of Halo Infinite.
It's a nice little second wave for them. Yeah.
And you've got whatever games have come out in the last year. You know what I mean?
But you have to keep thinking this, that Sony or Microsoft don't give a crap. They don't care. Buy an Xbox if you want. Don't buy it if you don't want.
Yeah.
You want Game Pass? It's on the PC as well if you want it.
Yeah.
You know,
on your phone.
Yeah. We'll stream it to your phone.
It's everywhere.
They don't care if you buy the Xbox. It's a damn good machine if you do buy it.
Yeah. That is. I mean, I'm excited. I have to say, I am excited to get it. I'm excited to open it up and boot it up for the first time. And you know, last time I really had like meaningful playtime with an Xbox was the 360, which I was really into. And in particular, the function. I remember at the time it was like the only thing where, because like PlayStation has kind of always been our kind of family console, I suppose, growing up. But we always had the PlayStation consoles. And so I played mostly PlayStation 3 at that time. But the thing that I liked about the 360 that the PS3 couldn't do was the option to play music during games. Man, did I abuse the fuck out of that. Like, I loved that shit, man.
That was all the way back on the first one, too.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the first, didn't it have a hard drive built into it as well?
Yeah.
Oh.
8 gig hard drive.
Holy shit. I did not know that. I thought that was a 360 onwards feature. So that's actually after like blowing my mind a little bit.
No, like the whole thing about the Xbox Series X being like a PC, it goes back to the first one as well. Like that was essentially a PC just with a different front end on it. Like the whole thing is that it was running DirectX that ran on PCs. It's why it's called the Xbox. Direct Xbox. So like it's the whole thing with it. Always has been.
My mind is blown, man.
It's good. Like It was like even that, and like I remember back in the day, we had to like go on MSN on the 360, like you know,
Right.
That's
Like-
great.
little chat pad on the controller, like you know,
Yeah.
it was cool. Like it was a really cool machine. That 360, like it. Moving on to that, like that machine was crazy good, crazy good. I only got one of them because couldn't afford the PlayStation at the time. PlayStation was like 100 quid more expensive or something, wasn't it? It's
Oh,
like,
easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
two probably.
it was like
200
it was-
quid more.
Yeah, it
than
was
PS3
crazy.
was nuts. Like.
And that pushed me onto the 360, even though I wanted the PS3. And
Yeah.
like, oh man, that everyone had that thing. Everyone had that thing. You just
Yeah.
it was so good for multiplayer. Like, full. Oh wow, it's brilliant.
See, I'm actually like this generation now. I'm reminded of that generation, which was like, again, like in our family home, we had PS3, the 360,
And the Wii.
and the Wii.
Yeah.
Right? Went for all three because there was like a reason to have all three. There was like a different identity for all three. There was a different kind of ethos towards all three, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that reason is kind of back now. The Switch is so different. The Xbox Series X is so different, and the PS5 is so different. Whereas that wasn't there last generation, I feel. You know, the differences weren't there that much.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
So it just feels great. It feels like a great time to be a gamer, regardless. Like,
There's never been a better time to be a gamer.
well, maybe if I had less work to do, we could game more.
There is that.
Try have a kid.
Oh man, I know, right? Fucking hell. I'd love to ask what's your fondest memory of
The
playing
Xbox.
Xbox on it, whatever generation it might be? What would be your fondest memory?
It's tough, like, because that 360 area is just full of so many good times with friends. It really is. Like, I can picture so many times just sitting and just playing through Halo and just crying, laughing at some of the stuff that was going on. Like, you know, it's genuinely tough to pick a good memory out of it. Like, it's just too many good moments with that console. Yeah, 360 was just top class for me.
Did you ever go
My
to like
friends.
the internet cafes or the Halo tournaments?
No, I never went to a tournament.
Yeah,
no.
that's.
No.
I remember.
Where were they on?
I actually knew the guy who ran them. He had a partnership, and Microsoft sent him a load of 360s, so he would set them up. They used to do, not with the 360, but the original Xbox. They used to have the internet cafe, down near where the art center is in Wexford.
Really?
Just in that corner, there used to be an internet cafe in there, and that's where they had, like an upstairs that they would have the Xboxes, and then people could LAN party.
I did
I've
not
never
know
been
that.
there.
And
I
then
did not
for the
know that.
360 tournaments, they used to hold them in White's Hotel.
Wow.
Yeah, and they would have the
no idea.
Halo 3 tournaments, and it was just something I never entered or got. Well, you'd have to pay to get into them, but it's a huge regret that I have is to not have experienced that.
Yeah.
Because I never really got into the online play side of it. Even when we had a 360, we didn't really play online. It's one of my biggest regrets is not to get in onto that whole huge multiplayer.
It was just unbelievable. It was genuinely that time when Halo 3 was popular online. Like, it was just unbelievably good, and like it was just like the whole thing of like you could look back on all your matches. Like, you literally recorded every single match, and you could go back and watch videos of every single player in every single match and what was going on, and you could fly a camera around the map. Like, it created so many good memories. Like, when you go back and create a video or a picture, like, like I still see them come up. You know, I still see them pictures and videos come up, and I still smile and laugh when I see them. Like,
Isn't it weird that no other game took that and made that, like?
Well, it's built into the consoles now.
Yeah.
But they did it in that game.
Yeah.
You know, and there was nothing like that out there, and it really helped. Like you were able to go, look at this, look what happened here. You know, like, oh, this is quite funny. Like, you know, And it was just like, it was a playground. It was an absolute playground because the physics in it made it so fun to play. Like if something blew up, something funny was going to happen. Like it was just so good. So good.
I suppose my fondest memories with the Xbox, and it was at the 360 era. Well, one of them was playing Mass Effect 2, which I remember I'd put off for a long time. Eric was big into the Mass Effect series, and he'd been playing them, but I don't know why I kind of convinced myself I'm not going to like it. And then there was like 1 week where when I was in college, I had that extra week off in first year of college that you don't have in secondary school. And like everyone else was, because I didn't do TY, but most of like my mates who I hung out with had done TY, so they were actually all still in secondary school. So over the Christmas holidays they'd gone back to school, and then else I knew had like gone to work or whatever. So I was like, I have an extra week and nothing to do. Fuck it, I'll play Mass Effect 2 and see what this is all about. And I couldn't put it down, and I spent the whole week in that universe. But aside from that, me and my friend Lee, we decided to play Gears of War 2 all night co-op. We had Slipknot, the Subliminal Verses playing, and we were chainsawing the arteries of a giant worm.
Hello, 2004.
Yes. And I think actually at the time we were both pissed off about something. I don't know what it was. It wasn't at each other, like, but something had really bothered us where we went, well, we just play a bit of Gears of War and try. And then just this catharsis of heavy metal and chainsaws and blood and camaraderie was just it's one of my fondest memories of gaming in general. Anyway, it was just so fucking awesome.
Such a ridiculous game. They put a chainsaw on a fucking assault rifle.
On a machine, yeah, unfucking real, man. And to be honest, that's where, like, because when I was up at Adams looking at the Series X and like going through like the list of games on Game Pass, as soon as I saw Gears there again, I was like, man, I can't wait to play these again. I cannot wait.
And it has the remastered version of 1 is on it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They're all on it. All of them are on it. Yeah, it's like that's a good thing about it as well, that you can go back and play all those classics. Like they're all there. They all work. Yeah. And they all work quite well. So like it's.
But is Batman Vengeance there though?
I'm afraid not.
There is Batman games on there though. There is Batman games on there.
Yeah, there's some of the Arkham games I know are there, aren't they? Yeah. Sure, I know them. Like, sure, look it.
Actually, I haven't been on since then. What the fuck are you talking about saying that Batman Arkham Knight is a good game? A bad game. Bad game.
I'm in the minority there. 100%. I really like Arkham Knight, but I'm
welcome
100%...
to Batmobile Simulator. Like,
oh yeah, I am sympathetic. I'm with you. The Batmobile sucks. But there's so much other stuff that game does that I think is fucking awesome. But yeah, there's no loading screens.
Oh wow,
yeah, it was fucking unbelievable.
Best part of Batman is not waiting for more Batman.
Yeah, man, unreal.
I've said my fondest memory of the Xbox is actually all the shit talking during the 360 PS3 era.
Really?
Yeah, voice chat was open.
Well, not just voice chatting. It was actually in school.
Oh, yeah.
In school, like genuine console war, fucking piss taking in the schoolyard. I was always in the minority because I had a PS3 and everyone else had a 360. And
I remember the narrative being that the PlayStation was for hardcore gamers. Hardcore.
That doesn't line up to me at all.
Yeah, I always thought it was envisioned the other way around.
Definitely,
like real gamers play Xbox and PlayStation's for pussies.
I think what fueled that was Kojima literally saying that Metal Gear Solid 4 was for hardcore gamers.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's all about just quoting your favorite game dev at that point.
That's it. That is it.
Yeah, but such and such said.
I really loved that because it was the only time, even though like it was quite hostile, it was the only time where it was like everyone around you gamed.
Everyone had a team.
Everyone played something, right? And and no one was backing up GameCube, and and it was just fun. I just have fond memory listening, like just thinking back on some of the stupid shit that people used to say to complain that's why their machine is better than someone else's machine. But it's just so funny.
I remember Xbox fanboying it up and going to someone, "Oh yeah, sure." They say that like the PS3 is harder to develop for. Like I had no fucking clue.
It absolutely was, though. So you're right there.
I was right because I read it somewhere, but I had no idea what that meant.
Yeah, like that actually matters to a gamer. But
well, I think the funny thing there is like a lot of the people who were like at each other's throats about which console is better.
Yeah.
Were like both playing Call of Duty 4. Like that, it was the same fucking thing. Like, you know.
No, I went deep down the fanboy hole. I was like, no fucking Halo. What the fuck is Call of Duty? Fucking Halo's better. Yeah, sure, you can't. The graphics are way better. Like physics.
Simple as. Or like, yeah, like FIFA's the same on both, lads. So don't. It's okay. There's no need to kill each other. FIFA's the same on everything. Shit, way you play.
It's funny you say that because it actually isn't anymore with that PlayStation controller.
Why?
Does it play different?
It does all things with the triggers and vibration, doesn't it? So it's a little bit different in the controller.
God, I haven't played a FIFA in. I can't wait for us to do our FIFA anniversary event.
Jesus, yeah. I can't even recall.
I have played bits of FIFA at friends' houses.
Yeah, I may have played it on the PS2. Maybe.
I played a good few of them. Like, they're good time wasters.
Yeah.
Even if that was on Game Pass, I wouldn't.
I'd give it a go.
I
You
would
would
not.
give it a go.
Not.
It technically is if you have Ultimate because it's
includes
EA Play.
That's cool. That's
is it true that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. How many games are added as a result of EA Play as well?
It's actually not that many, but there's some
really?
good ones. There's some good ones on there.
Well, the Dead Space 1 and 2 for like are worth it alone, aren't they? Fuck's sake! Like.
And I think you get that's how the Mass Effect ones are on it.
And fucking Dante's Inferno, lads.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Underrated game.
I'm too much of a scaredy cat for any of those games.
Oh, yeah, Dante's Inferno.
That one's not bad though. That's the rip off.
It's more like God of War.
That's the God of War one.
Okay.
Yeah.
You travel through the nine circles of hell.
Yeah.
And take on demons, the denizens of hell. Oh man, it's so good. Like
it's metal as fuck.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, it's the
really
most
is.
metal.
It really is. And it was supposed to get
another game on there, isn't it? You know that? Remember that game? Is it called Brutal Legend?
Yeah, Jack Black.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
That game had Lemmy in it.
It did.
Yeah.
That's right. It did have Lemmy in it.
I just remember the mob of like headbangers, and they had these like massive Corey Taylor necks on them, and they just
massive necks.
Yeah, and they're just like headbanging as they're marching.
Oh man, that game was ridiculous.
I love the band at the start who have like they start with a heavy riff, but then they go into like a pop punk kind of chorus, and then they have like a rapper in it as well, and like just from the side, like Jack Black's card is like metal's dead. It's so good.
Fuck Xbox. Let's just start a new podcast without Eric.
So I suppose another thing I would like to bring up in this discussion. There's been a lot of reminiscing and a lot of like looking back on Xbox and the 20 years and whatever experiences we've had with it. But looking forward, are there any games or series or anything to do with Xbox that we're like looking forward to or genuinely excited about? That killed all the crack there, didn't it? We were having a good laugh, and then you went.
I didn't think we were going to have a fucking exam here, Chris.
Yeah, answer me these questions 3.
Someone get me a list.
Have you got a long one?
No, I don't really.
Not a list. I just.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It's funny to say it, like, well, it doesn't really matter because I'll just play whatever's on there because of Game Pass. I'll just play it. I'll give it a go.
Are there any? Sorry, even before we go further, are there any exceptions to the rule where, like, are there any games now in the future of Xbox, like apart from like third-party games or whatever, that will not be on Game Pass? Will they all be on Game Pass?
All first-party titles, day one.
So Halo Infinite.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Will be on Game Pass.
Day one.
campaign as well. I knew the multiplayer was going to be, but campaign as well.
Day one.
Oh, lads.
That's why, like,
Yes.
I mean, when
Yeah.
when they bought Bethesda,
Yeah.
I
that was
bought the
huge.
fucking Xbox. Like, I went
That was-
straight
that
out.
was
I was
huge.
like, there's no way I'm not gonna skip out on that
It's
shit.
it's ridiculous. It's
But you
actually
see, like, and I know, like, the last time we talked about, and I think this was actually us speculating even before we had the consoles, when you were on as well, Howlin. And I remember saying at the time, like, how you get me as a gamer is the games,
Mhm.
right? And I was like, I like the Halo franchise, but I'm not like a hardcore Halo guy. As you can tell, like, Halo 3 is the most amount of Halo I've played, right? Which is the same as that's like, oh, you played Halo 3, yeah. Like, so was everyone. Like, God, get over it.
Soldier Man.
But the purchase of Bethesda was like, okay, where do I sign?
Like we haven't really seen the fruits of that yet. Like, but
but next year, just around the corner, lads, Starfield.
And the Skyrim even more special edition.
I suppose it wouldn't be an episode without mentioning Skyrim.
but you know what? It's actually worth mentioning because Skyrim was a 360 game in my brain. Well, it wasn't messed up on the PlayStation, so that game was an Xbox game. Oh yeah, and again another time, hundreds of hours into that thing, and it was just so fun, I think it's worth.
Well, the Elder Scrolls in general has a long relationship with just even Microsoft in general, but even like you look at like Morrowind was on the Xbox.
Yeah.
It wasn't on PlayStation, so yeah, that is a series that kind of came over to PlayStation in a way. So like, we can get all like, well, you took Elder Scrolls on us, but it's like, fuck off, you have Uncharted and Last of Us and Metal Gear Solid, like, fuck off, he's have enough.
Yeah, like Skyrim, and for me was like a massive one on 360 as well. Like, and I think if I think of Skyrim, I think of the Xbox. I really do. Like, it's like just in my brain. Like, it might as well have been an exclusive. I don't think I've ever touched it on anything else.
You haven't been playing it right then, man.
No, you haven't. It's on the
Switch. Supposed to play
Switch.
it on everything.
It's in VR.
Don't get me wrong. I've bought it 5 times.
That's
man.
okay. That's okay.
Good man. That's what we like to hear.
We're actually sponsored by Skyrim. No, I'm joking. Adam, any games or projects in particular in the future of Xbox that you're looking forward to?
The feck, what's the name of it? There is one, and I think it is an exclusive. You see, it was one that was announced during not this E3. I think it was last E3, or it was probably the Game Awards actually. But it's like a side scroller, almost cyberpunk style game.
That's out. The Descent.
No, that doesn't sound like it.
Oh, was it not that? Was that what it's?
I know that one as well. I know that's
Yeah.
out. There's another one.
I feel like it's
got
called
a
like Replay or something, or like,
yeah, it's got a real Blade Runner aesthetic to it. I can't
but it
remember
looked
the name of it either.
amazing, and I think that is just that is an Xbox exclusive, and
Yeah, I think
that
it is.
one is. I'm really
The
looking forward
Gunk. The Gunk.
No, I don't
that
think
it?
it's the
No,
Gunk.
it
I
doesn't
do
look
think
so.
it is something.
But I'm so looking forward to it that I can't even remember the name. That's
Yeah,
how
you're really keeping an eye on it, yeah.
Well, look. Let's be real. Like they haven't been delivering in that sense. But it is all coming up. Like eventually, like like this Halo Infinite. Avowed was one of those games that was announced a while ago.
Oh yes, yeah.
Like the Gunk actually looks fairly good.
Replaced.
There-
Replaced, that's the
is
one.
name of it. That looks amazing. Like the way it was. Like I haven't really seen much gameplay, but just the way that trailer was put together.
And the soundtrack to it.
Yeah, the score to it just sounds so fucking
Yeah,
good.
it's a very synthwave kind of stuff.
Yeah,
I have not seen that. That looks awesome.
yeah, it looks great. Just the artwork and everything, and the animation just looks really visceral. The beats of it and stuff, it just looks so good.
I'm getting God, what's that guy? The artist. 2 seconds. Oh, something. He's Swedish, so it's really complicated.
Geiger?
No, there's another game that's inspired by Geiger. Simon Stalenhag. I'm getting real Simon Stalenhag vibes off them. Stalenhag.
Who's he then?
A cousin of mine. No. No,
do you know Mary? Do you know Mary? Right. Well, she'd be.
He's like a Swedish, Norwegian, Finnish, something like that artist, and his stuff is like real kind of cyberpunky,
Cool.
but like real dark kind of feeling, empty feeling. It's like Cyberpunk, but in like Sweden. So it's
Unreal.
like, yeah, it's really, really cool. If you see that game Generation Zero, that's kind of inspired by his stuff.
Oh, I've seen that before. Yeah. That's fucking cool. That shit looks cool actually.
So that's what I'm getting off. Yeah, you've put that on my radar now.
Yeah, it looks so good. You should definitely check out the trailer, just the way it's put together. Really, really short trailer, and I think it was the VGAs that was shown at.
And Avowed as well. Like that looks like it's going to be like a Skyrim.
That's right.
Yeah, and
is that by Obsidian?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that when they bought
the
them, and it was like, oh yeah, they have the Outer Worlds, and they have this new Avowed coming out, and it was like, they have a pretty good studio there with Western RPGs, and then they buy Bethesda, the only other competitor to Obsidian. It's just like, yeah, you have to. So like whatever the next Doom is, whatever. Yeah, obviously the Starfield, next Elder Scrolls, those are all the games that I'm looking forward to as to why I bought the Xbox. I know they're like miles away, but
no, I think we're going to get more announcements now coming up as well, like of stuff that's closer. So like COVID has put an absolute shit on all of this. Really, so like really Halo probably wouldn't have been out in mid-year if it wasn't for COVID. Probably, so it'll be good. It is good right now, but it's going to get better first party wise.
Yeah, no, I do think so as well.
And like, look forward to.
It might be a bit of a cop out to say that like the game I'm most excited for in the future is Elder Scrolls 6, even though it's like you've seen nothing of it. Like all you've seen is
a logo.
Yeah, but it's just that
my God, that logo.
My God, that logo. And I'm just thinking about what the console is capable of now. But in that world, you know what I mean? I'm just like so excited to see the possibilities of what it could all be.
I hope for load screens because that means they're pushing it.
What? You hope for load screen?
Yeah, because that means they're pushing it.
What do you mean?
That means it has to load in. Then
if it has to load in, then it's like fucking ridiculous.
Or it's classic Bethesda and it's not optimized.
Will that become like a flex in the future where it's like, and our game has load screens?
Yeah.
Holy fuck! Like everyone lose their
what the fuck are they loading?
Holy shit! Like this ain't no Batman Arkham Knight, lads.
Fucking shit game. So shit.
I tell you, lads, it's no Batman Vengeance, lads. No Batman Vengeance. Yeah. So and I have to say, like Starfield looks great. And I'm not one for I was never like huge into the Fallout series. I like it, but I'm not huge into it. Like I can take it or leave it, kind of a thing. But Starfield has me really excited as a sci-fi project by these guys. Like,
I need to see more. I really need to see more on that because I don't understand how they're going to work it.
But
that isn't just going to feel like the Other Worlds.
But do you know, Howlin? Because you don't even have to buy it.
I bought it long term.
It's gonna be there. You've already bought it. This is like, do you remember that? Is it in Tim Burton's Batman when the Joker's like, "You bought him already"? Poison.
Another Batman reference. What the fuck is wrong with you?
My fondest memory of the Xbox. Oh man. Yeah, I can't fucking wait to get at the Xbox this Christmas and just be like, like, because sometimes you're like wondering, well, what game will I get to be my first game on the new and it's like, I don't need to get any.
I want the video of you opening up Game Pass for the first time on that thing.
Yeah.
Because it just keeps going. Like it just keeps going.
I do plan to like video even like unboxing it and everything. Because as well, I have been told that the unboxing experience of the Series X is far superior than the unboxing experience of the PS5, which I wouldn't be surprised at because look at, and everyone know, like I love the PS5, but the unboxing experience was really lackluster.
Yeah.
Yeah, but for a reason. If they were being like, this can all be recycled kind of thing, like
Yeah, and I get that as well. Yeah, I get that as well. But I do feel like I don't know. There's a way of doing it as well in a way where it doesn't feel like that just came out of some warehouse.
Yeah, the Series X is presented to
right?
you as you open the box.
Yeah.
Here is
Like
your
a
console,
present.
sir. Yeah.
Oh.
It even has a little ribbon around it.
Yeah.
See, that's nice. That's considerate.
Lovely.
That's just lovely now. That's lovely.
Is there anything going forward that you would like to see changed on the Xbox or added?
Give me that controller saved from the PS5. Simple, really.
Oh, and I think they're actually planning to do that, aren't they?
They need to get on that. They need to get on that.
Do you mean in terms of haptic feedback or
the haptics and the triggers? Yeah, they need to get on that. It's essential, I think.
That would
I
be
think
interesting, actually.
I think that's the way forward now. It's like PlayStation did the dual sticks. That's the standard now. I think this needs to be the standard now because it's so good.
Yeah, that'd be a nice addition, all right.
Like, it's genuinely, it's making me, like, I'm an Xbox man, but if a new game comes out and I see that it has any sort of support for that controller, I'm getting it on the PS5.
Wow.
If it's not on Game Pass.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
but
fair.
it does, like,
Yeah.
No, I think that's fair because it does actually change the experience of playing the game.
Yeah, look, like there hasn't been many that have actually blown me away on it, but just the little bits of it, like I got the Guardians of the Galaxy game on it just because it had something, So
I'm currently playing it at the moment, Howlin. Is that
good game?
Because I mean, look at the whole world saw the reveal and went, "That looks shit."
Yeah,
it's good.
It's really good.
It's kind of surprisingly good.
How far in are you?
I'm like 5 chapters in.
It keeps going. You're not even halfway there yet.
Yeah, no, I know. I get the sense that it's quite a big, but it is more of a, because I suppose a lot of people would have seen it and thought, oh, it's like the Avengers. It's like a looter kind of game, right? It's nothing like that. It's way more like
fun.
And yeah, fun. It is. It's definitely more fun, but it also is more like, say, an Uncharted game or something like that. It's a linear story game, and you play as Star-Lord and you manage your team, and it's, there's certainly things I would change, but it's much better than I was anticipating.
Yeah, like even in the trailer, like everyone was like, "Oh, look at this like off-brand Chris Pratt," like, but by the end of it, you're like, "No, I prefer him."
I've warmed up to him really quickly.
Really,
that is
really
Michael from GTA 5, isn't it?
Go away.
It sounds like him.
No,
but I don't know if it is, but it sounds like him. And
you know what? Like him, doesn't it?
This was the moment where that clicked, because I was like, he sounds familiar, and then you said that, and now I'm going, it is.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know.
I think it could be.
It can't. What? Really? I'm looking it up right now.
Look it up.
The one thing I really hope they change or add is extending the capture that you can do. Because I noticed that when I was trying to capture clips, it's like you could only really capture a minute in 1080p, and I would like to be able to capture.
It's 15 on the PS5, is it?
You can do nearly an hour, I think, or half an hour.
Yeah,
30
minutes.
Yeah,
you can do half an hour. You can do up to half an hour on it. Yeah.
So I'd like to be able to do that, because just the way I capture, I generally do a moment and then I press it and I want to capture it, but it's very unclear to me how much, like, did I miss the last bit or something like that? I wish I could extend that capture bit. So I hope they do that.
Yeah, that's not something I've ever considered, but yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it is only a minute. I've only ever used it for a minute, but yeah, you're right there.
Because otherwise, if you are wanting to capture gameplay footage, you would have to hook it up and do it through your computer and stuff like that. And I'm too lazy to do that.
It is a shame, because it actually is quite a robust thing as well, that recording thing. Like, it goes
like
the app on the phone and everything.
I imagine the only reason they haven't upped it is more of a storage concern. Is the reason, I would say. That leads me to my second, which is I really hope the price of those expansion cards comes down.
They will. Yeah.
Man, I was like, in trying
The
to
price of
install,
a Series S, like it's.
I was trying to install like the newest Forza and stuff like that, and just the unfortunate having to go through and delete games, and I'm like, oh, and some of them I haven't even tried yet, so it's like,
Yeah,
fucking
see,
it. It's too much
This is like
management.
the conversation we had last time about me being a digital boy at the moment. Is that
Yeah.
I don't care about deleting stuff. I'll just download it again.
That's true.
Yeah, it doesn't.
There is
It
that
doesn't
too.
affect your saves, does it?
No,
No.
it doesn't.
To
It
do that,
doesn't.
you just
No.
like cycle through your games as
Yeah,
such when you're playing
yeah.
a new one, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
but that
Starload
would.
is not voiced by the guy who voiced
Okay.
Michael. He's voiced by a guy called John McLaren, who had a voice in Far Cry 5 as well. But
Oh, okay.
that seems to be it, really.
And now we know. Now we
Yeah.
know. I can't really say what I'd like added to Xbox because I haven't had enough experience with it myself yet. But I mean, those changes that you guys have said in terms of the controller and in terms of recording and that kind of thing sound appealing to me. So like, I'd be all for any of those kinds of changes too. And obviously, yes, I have no problem like deleting a game and re-downloading or whatever. But if there was like extended storage that you could get where you don't have to make that part of your routine, because it is like the other day I had to do it with the PS5. I had to
But
like
there is, I
delete
don't
a
know if
couple of
there
games,
is.
you know.
It's just a little bit expensive. That's
Oh
all.
no, I know there is one.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that like
On
while
both
it's not-
sides, it's expensive.
while it's not 100% necessary, it is a nice little luxury if you can afford it. So yeah, if it came down to a lower price, it is something that I would get. That you're not constantly kind of, next time you want to play a new game, you have to go and delete some. You could just
Look, it's the same as the PS2 memory cards, isn't it? Like they were mad expensive too, weren't they? For when they were out.
Yeah, I
And
think
that
they were
that
close
came
to
down.
50 quid nearly.
What was that? 8 MB? Come on.
Yeah.
yeah.
Magic Gate. But yeah, that's the only thing that's out of Microsoft's control is the pricing on that, unfortunately.
Right.
They don't really have.
Well, not really, since it's proprietary. Like they can take a loss on it. So
They could
like,
take a loss on it, for sure. But I think
you will
the
see it drop
shortages
soon.
and stuff like that on memory modules is a bit of an issue.
They can probably afford to take a loss on anything.
Well, they're already taking a loss on Game Pass. Come on, lads, will you give them a break?
I don't know if they are.
They're probably
I
breaking
don't-
even now, but they certainly were.
I'm not so sure. Like that's a lot of tenors gone in. Do you know? Like don't. I think they're okay on Game Pass.
Yeah, I think people would be surprised how much that adds up if everyone is doing it.
Yeah, because you're guaranteed. Like, I think the average gamer probably spends maybe $120 a year anyway, and here you're guaranteed it from every gamer.
As opposed to taking a gamble on every game you're putting out there.
And I know I just said that, and everyone listening is probably like, "Those are rookie numbers." Spending like at least 500 a year.
What the fuck? Yeah. No way.
God bless the GameStop trading.
God bless it. Yeah. But anyway, happy 20th anniversary Xbox, and happy 20th anniversary Halo. Happy Easter Xbox.
Bright lights.
It's just a light box now. Yeah.
Everything's coming down.
Everything is falling apart. Anyone who's listening on audio platforms hasn't a clue. So maybe you might want to jump over to YouTube to check the visual representation of what's going on as well. But
That's
guys,
why I broke everything.
if you've been watching, thank you for checking this out. If you're watching on YouTube, please jump down to the comments. Please share with us your fondest memories of playing Xbox and also your fondest Halo memories. We would love to hear from you. And what games are you looking forward to in the future of Xbox? We'd love to hear that too. If you listen on audio platforms, you can also touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take. And make sure to follow us. Hit like on that video. Hit subscribe. And click the notification bell. We'd also love you guys to check out 12 Gauge Outrage. They're an awesome metal band. You will fucking love them. If you liked what we were talking about earlier on in terms of like listening to metal while chainsawing up fucking stuff in Gears of War, you're on some 12 Gauge Outrage, man. And also go check out Bullet Sponge. We're going to link the video to Halo in particular because it's a great fucking video. It's like a video essay by Howlin.
I took a break on that kind of stuff just to some issues with myself, but I am getting back into. I have plans to get back into it now soon. I'm ready for it now. So yeah, check it out. I have ideas, and they will be realized.
Unreal. So make sure to subscribe to it while you're there as well, guys. Thank you very much for listening. We'll be back to talk to you guys
Love you.
next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.